welcome everyone. Hope you're having a great, brisk December morning. If you're in North America, it's a little chilly in South Carolina today, Mark.
Yeah, and it's probably not much better here, but if you're saying it's cold in South Carolina, that means it's cold everywhere.
Yeah, they said it was colder in South Carolina this morning than it was in New York City. There's something wrong with that picture. But
You won't call it global warming.
yeah, but hey, we hope you enjoy the next little bit while we do our Jersey update from December Sire Summaries. It's been a great week at Select Sires for our Jersey program. As always, Marc Bolen's joining us today, and I'm Herby Lutz, and we'll take a few minutes of your time to go through this PowerPoint and hit some highlights of the December Sire Summaries. Um, it was a great day. We have a lot of information to provide you. As always, ask a question in the comment section. We'll try to get those answered. But this got posted, I think, yesterday. Time sort of goes together this week, Marc, but a great high components directory for Select Sires and our family of companies, and appreciate the communications team getting this put together so timely this week. Marc, anything you'd like to say about this cover?
Yeah, just a couple of the daughter photos from a couple of the bulls that we just graduated into our proven lineup. Blizzard on the left side, which you'll see later more of, and then Kamikaze on the right side from Boers down in Dalhart. So we'll talk about those couple bulls later, and you'll see these daughters again in a bit.
Our communications team put together this inside cover of another talking about HHP dollars, which is the index that Select Sires herd health profit dollars that we customize for the Jersey breed. Just wanted to make yourself aware of it again, make sure you see it's out there. You see the weights that we have on traits. And Marc, we do reference it some in our PowerPoint today. So I wanted to make sure people understand what HHP dollars is. And this will be on the inside or on the inside of the directory. So it'll be great for people to refresh themselves and see it. We're also going to have a little poll section because we have a lot of poll genetics in our lineup this week. And as Marc alluded to, we had 4 new graduates. But Marc, you did some sorts for us to start with. You want to hit on those?
Yeah, so we usually do some sorts on our inside cover, but this year we kind of, or this proof run, I should say, we changed it up a little bit and shared the HHP since it's so common amongst the bulls, and our bulls rank really, really well in that specific index. But just sharing with you some stats on the proven lineup and young lineup about HHP. Cheese merit, DPR in the Jersey breed is a good thing to have. So we got 3 of the proven and 6 of our young bulls are over a point. JUI is another selling point, and then obviously the JPI, the Jersey Performance Index. And then I just threw in that 6 of the top 10 proven sires in the active list that they put out are from Select Sires, and then 11 of the top 20. So we rank really, really well there. And actually, I think all 4 of our new grads, actually, I know all 4 of our new grads hit that top 20, and 3 of them hit that top 10. So new diversity to our lineup, and we're excited to share those with you here in a bit.
Well, Marc, you look at where the top 25 females in the breed come from, you know, who's the sires that are making those. And we're very fortunate in our Select Sires brands of companies with Accelerated Genetics, Generations, Select Sires. And we have 16 out of the top 25 females ranked by JPI. Ethan Haywood put this together for us, and we certainly appreciate the help this week getting all this stuff put together. But it just shows that breeders are utilizing our genetics to make the top individuals for the next generation as well. Well, let's move right into our December graduates, Marc. Like you said, it was 4 of them, all in the top 20 for JPI and the breed. And why don't you lead us off with Elle, since you were the first one to see Milking Daughters from our camp?
Yeah, so this one I caught end of May, beginning of June, and we knew he wasn't going to have enough data in August, but we were hoping for December, and he for sure came through. These daughters that we have pictured, we were at Clover Farms in Illinois. Just absolutely blew myself away. Youthful mammary systems, plenty of strength, dairy, width. I mean, it's just a complete balanced group of daughters that I've seen there. And I think we pictured 3 of them, and I think I seen 8 of them, and I was splitting hairs. I could have picked them or pictured them all, but This bull starts on the proven rankings as the 5th high for JPI at 164. He's 1108 in milk, 121 CFP, and still has plus percents on a break-even DPR. So it's really, really hard to get that comment or positive areas across there. You find bulls that have one, but maybe not the other, but this bull kind of does it all. He's 13.7 JUI, number 4 for HHP in the proven rankings amongst all bulls, and 11th for cheese merit at 607. But he also has 823 DWP, A2, good on the wellness traits, positive on the calf wellness, and a bar chart that you like to see for strength and stature and udder traits. But this bull blew me away in June, and I'm glad 6 months later we get to talk about him again.
Yeah, and just want to point out when you look at type data this time, with some situations in California, we didn't get data in October from California, so April we'll see a big jump in type numbers for all the bulls because there are so many jerseys in California and so much data comes out of that state. They got scored in November instead, so keep that in mind when you're looking at these. But Mark, you and Preston, when y'all got to Clover Farms, y'all called that first night, and it was pretty impressive from what I was hearing y'all's voice.
And I actually have cell phone pictures of the one right there in the middle of your screen at 8 hours of milk before she went to the parlor. And I didn't put those up here, but I shared them with a group of salesmen and staff from Premier when I went out to Hershey, PA and did a presentation. And I put those out there, and there's a lot of talking about it. So it caught the attention of the sales staff out there. And I think this bull is going to be a good seller for us and a different kind of pedigree, even though he's a thrasher out of a Pogba and then a Mackenzie. So another good addition from the victory herd and Kevin and Sue's out there in South Dakota.
Well, Mark, I'm going to take Volant next. He's another thrasher son developed at Valsigna, the Wickstrom family there in Hilmar. Just a balanced bull. Another one just like you talked about with L's, 1106 a milk, over 100 CFP. He's the number 6 JPI bull on the list this time. Number 6 for HHP dollars at 686. He's a nice cheese merit bull at 645. He's a bull that's got a great SCR. 12.4 on JUI, 928 DWP. And look at his calf wellness, 157 calf wellness dollars, 108 livability, 113 scours, 107 respiratory. Volant's been a bull that is sold from day one, Mark. He carries a lot of the designations with Feed Pro and Robot Pro. And he's a bull that just last week I had a dairyman call and say, man, these Volant daughters are really, really good. So looking forward to getting some pictures of those before the next sire summary, Mark.
Mm-hmm. The next one, also coming from the Valsigna herd in California. This one is a thrasher-free pedigreed bull. He's a Pine son out of this Steve that's 85. That'll perform. So different pedigree to use on the thrasher blood, and still ranks high, even though he doesn't have thrasher in him. He's 159. That'd make him number 7 for JPI. 1361 a milk, 122 CFP. So he's 10th for cheese merit, 13th for milk, 6th for fat, 10th for protein, and 6th for CFP amongst proven bulls. 7th for HHP at 685. Another DWP bull, as Herby just talked about in our last bull, 1,088 DWP dollars, 151 wellness trait, and 150 calf wellness dollars. So, and it's a little different across the board. Positive SCR, and the daughters we've seen have really impressed us across the country. And there's 2 pictured to the right of your screen. That one at the top was actually on the cover that we mentioned a bit ago. So a new bull that thrasher free to use on that thrasher blood, but really a bull that we've really been excited about and has sold well from a young bull, and we hope he continues on in the proven ranks.
Any of y'all that have listened to these Facebook Lives forever know how much I've loved the Pine daughters. Mark has as well. And to see a Pine son graduate this high, to have on top of the thrashers. So now we have, and we'll get to chat them here in a little bit. But Mark, we've got 3 bulls that are totally outcrossed, all in the top 7 of the breed, proven that you can mix and match on top of each other and really create breed gains and improvement to make a more profitable herd. Mark, I'm going to get to talk about our fourth new graduate. He's another Thrasher son, but he's one that doesn't need a lot of introduction. He sold a lot of semen as a young bull, and he graduates in the top 20. He's 19th for JPI, and that's Kamikaze. He's the Thrasher out of the 95-point Valentino, then the Kokomo that I think's 91. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Super good deep cow family. Cows that you just love, developed down at Boers in West Texas. And the Kokomo was bred at Yosemite. So you've got some Jersey land owners in there for quite a while that are true Jersey enthusiasts. And this bull, Mark, he has not disappointed. You love these daughter pictures. We went to West Texas and got these in October. $12.79 a milk, a bull that's great somatic cell. He just does a lot of things right. 18.9 JUI to start with. Like I said, we'll be getting a lot more data before spring, but with this type proof and these 98 daughters and 19 herds with this production, we felt like it was time to just keep him selling in the marketplace, Mark.
Yeah, and this bull's been talked about around the world too. I know there's been a couple times at different shows internationally that heifer classes that have had a Kamikaze win the class and stuff like that. So it's not just a domestic bull that we've noticed him at, but he's been talked about around the world, and then we're glad to see him in the proven ranks with almost 100 daughters in his milking proof.
Really a great graduation class for Select this week, and all the brands that we represent, and really just excited about these four bulls and getting to see more of them. You ran a list, Mark, and there's a lot of data to come in on these bulls in the next 3 months.
Yep.
So, moving on to some more proven bulls that you've heard us talk about before, but had great days. Mark mentioned earlier, 6 out of the top 10 proven JPI bulls are at Select Sires. If you look at the top 25, that's 11. So we definitely rank at the top. Our young bulls turn into proven daughters or proven sires with high rank and make that customer satisfaction kind. And Mark, why don't you take us on to the number one bull in the breed?
Well, he was number one last time, and he held his rank this time, and he's still number one. So this bull I don't think needs much introduction. The Crispin bull, Thrasher out of Fournette Sears. If you say that right, I don't know. Sorry, Tyler. But this bull sits at 189 JPI. As I said, it makes him number one in the breed. He'd be the number one HHP bull at 821. Number two for Cheese Merit. Number one productive life bull in the proven ranks. Number 4 for livability with a positive SCR. So you got production, type, health traits, and fertility all in one. Then I did a little sorting. He's the only active bull that is over 3 on DPR and over 400 pounds of milk. So 3.3 DPR is really, really outstanding, but then you've still got production to go with it. So just kind of a bull that stands in his own, checks all those designations up there at the top of your screen and Feed Pro and Robot Pro, Grazing Pro. Just a really, really balanced bull across the board, and has continued to add daughters and do well doing it.
And his dam's in her 5th lactation now, Mark, a cow that stood the test of time and got the number one proven bull in the breed. Just an outstanding combination. I get to talk about Thrasher. He's the number 2 bull in the breed. He doesn't need any introduction. $6,500 in his proof now, $2,700 in his type proof. And he just adds such a balance of strength and dairiness that you love to see. 1,537 of milk, 120 CFP, plus 1.4 DPR. Just an incredible, incredible bull. His pedigree, one that you have a lot of confidence in when you see these daughters. Mark, that one on the top right, scored excellent about a month after that picture was taken. Just, you're hearing great reports of Thrashers. She's a 3rd lactation cow now. Got that strength, got that dairiness, got that openness that you like to see. So just a tremendous bull that you're going to see a lot of Thrasher sons today. We have a lot of them in the pipeline. A lot of them rank well, like Crispin. But just a bull that really has been a game changer in the Jersey breed.
And we're going to have bulls that don't have Thrasher in them too. So we got a little diversity across the board, so don't worry.
And you get to talk about a great one of those right now.
Yep. Just talking about that. We got Chatham. So this bull's an Enzo out of Lemonhead Carnival from Jersey Land, or the Primus program. He'd be number 3 for JPI at 177. High HHP bull, ranking him number 5. He's the number 1 cheese bull in the proven ranks, and number 2 for milk at 1858. Number 9 for fat at 66. And look at the productive life. So they not only milk, but they last a long time. 17 and a half JUI, good DWP, A2, and the daughters we have seen now second calf have been really impressive. And speaking of the second calf, there's an excellent one down there at the right hand, the bottom right hand of your screen that we pictured earlier this year. That, well, I don't know, she wasn't that fresh, but she took a good picture and she looked really good doing it. So just a really, really exciting bull to use on the Thrasher blood to keep the production in there, the health traits and JUI all in one. But a bull that we think continues to add daughters and continues to improve all the way down the line.
He does, and like I mentioned earlier, with the Thrasher blood, and then you have Chatham, and then you have Blizzard, you got 3 proven options. So you're not taking the risks like you do with genomic bulls, and just really 3 great bulls to breed back to back to back, to mix them and match them in any order to be able to make those great next generation animals. I'll talk about Star Lord. He's a bull that has been around a while, but he continues to do great things. A bull that went up on milk a little this time. He was our number 2 increase bull this time for JPI, up 12 or 13 JPI points, up to 146. Just a bull that does a lot of things right. One of 2 bulls in the breed that are over 20 for JUI and over 1.5 points for DPR. He makes great ones everywhere, Mark. I don't care. These all pictured in the U.S. and then this group shot, I believe that was in Australia. Was that right?
I believe so, yeah.
That's right. But Worldwide shared one time, Worldwide Sires. And he's made the right kind, and he still sells a lot of semen, and we understand why. Look, he's a mastitis resistance pro. He's a graze pro, and he's feed pro, and he's got great udders to go with it. So, and a lot of other traits that you like, great DPR. So another bull that we just thought we'd mention, a crazed son that has stood the test of time and continues to go up with over $3,000 in his proof now.
The next one we're going to talk about is a 7JE 1939 graduate. This bull had a really, really good day. He's now he's top 20 for JPI at 137, over 1,000 pounds of milk, 100 CFP, low somatic cell, just a really, really good bull all around. And this past few months that we've been out on the road traveling around, you can see why he's 1.8 on type. These cows are really good. They're wet, they're healthy, they thrive, and why wouldn't you believe that when you got 5 or 6 dams are excellent coming from the Brentwood herd, a herd that bred cows that for longevity and production, and this bull really surely shows that all the way through and through. And the more we see the daughters, the more we think that.
Yeah, and he was our biggest increase bull this time, up 17 JPI points on this proof run, Mark. Just a tremendous, tremendous package here. And a bull that I think we love these daughters that we've pictured here. That one in the middle of the screen, 63573. You'll see sons of her coming through next year when we're doing these Facebook Lives.
Yeah, and we'll share another graduate daughter later on that actually came from a show when we talk about a graduate son. So.
Well, Mark, I'm going to talk about Stearns now. He's the shocker son developed out at Boers in West Texas, out of the 90-point Lemonhead, then a Blade. Got to see these last month, the 2 pictured here on the right. He's a bull that comes in at 30th for JPI at this time, 25th for HHP dollars. He's number 8 JX free bull for JPI in the breed. So there's no JX in this bull's pedigree. He's a bull that's 15.8 JUI. And just does a lot of things right. Right at 1,000 pounds of milk, break even DPR at minus 0.1. But just a bull that is really, really solid. And we really enjoyed the daughters. One of the top one's second lactation, correct, Mark?
Yep.
Thought that was right. So it's nice to finally get some daughter photos to support this bull. And you took the lemon head down several years ago.
All at the same place, probably staying in the same spot where we pictured to.
Yeah, and he does carry that mastitis resistance pro designation.
We're going to talk about a proven bull now that is more of the showcase style thing or theme. Victorious, I think, needs no introduction. The bull's been siring daughters around the world, winning shows, winning classes, doing it impressively. And that I just wanted to point out the middle picture in that screen is from Avon Lee up there in Canada. Those are 4 daughters of Victorious. 3 of them max scored in their respective lactations. Then you got the All-American Summer Junior 2 from Louisville and Schulte Brothers Victorious Future for core family. And then at the bottom of the screen is another Victorious daughter that was All-American milking winter yearling, and then the junior show, and then reserve All-American winter yearling in the open show. But you'll see her picture later. If some of you know pedigrees, you probably realize she's a full sister to a bull that we're going to talk about in a bit. But he was the premier sire at the Royal Winter Fair and the All-American Jersey Show all in 1 week. So he finally got her done. He's always been right there, but it was an exciting week for this bull. He's 2.0 on type, 21.5 JUI, so I'd put him for 7th on both. And he's fertile too. His semen fertility is good at 0.7, so he'd be the number 7 SCR bull in the breed. But a bull that continues to sell. He's always one of our top sellers, and he fits that showcase designation very, very well.
He does, and he celebrated his 10th birthday just the 1st of November, Mark. It's pretty amazing the shelf life this bull has had and the impacts he's made on the breed.
And I'm just going to point out there's not many bulls make it to 10 years old in their careers. I can name a couple like Valentino and Chrome, but that's some high power right there. So that fits well.
I'm going to just mention a bull that didn't graduate, 1928 Nicholas. If you would have looked at the early list this week, you see he's the number 1 JPI bull. But he's a bull that had serious fertility issues, minus 4.3 SCR. He had a poor sexed fertility conception as well. He's a bull that did break the 1,200 DWP dollars, but we wanted to mention him because we do have sons of his coming along. And these are some great Nicholas daughters that we've pictured here. The 1,525 of milk he has, 168 CFP. He is a production outlier. But because of fertility, we had already moved him out of the stud because, let's face it, fertility trumps genetics a lot of times, Mark. And we just wanted to bring Nicholas to your attention as we move into our young bulls some and talk about those because he did get approved and he did do really well. It's just fertility. There wasn't any need in providing a product that's not going to make pregnancies on farm. As now we move into our young bulls, Mark, we're really excited about a lot of bulls that came along. You're going to see a lot of pictures on a lot of these pages. But Mark, why don't you take us to our top-ranked JPI young bull?
And there's a reason we talked about Nicholas, because the first one is Nicholas' son. So this is Scheffler from our accelerated lineup program. He's a Nicholas out of a Watkins, out of the Chief pictured at the top right hand of your screen. We just wanted to show a Watkins daughter. That is not the dam, but we just wanted to share what Watkins daughters can look like. This bull sits at number 8 on the active young bull list for JPI at 186. He's a top 20 HHP bull. 882 cheese merit puts him at number 2. He's number 11 for CFP and specifically number 10 for fat. But almost 1,000 pounds of milk, 143 CFP, and 0.1 protein and 0.19 fat. So a really, really extreme production bull. 284 cell, so you got the low cell score. But look at the Zoetis data: 1279 of DWP, 183 wellness, and 132 calf wellness. A2. Bull does a lot right, and he does it well. So just a bull that we wanted to bring to your attention, being a Nicholas son. So we were really excited to see this one creep up along with his father that it did.
Mark, I do have a question on Kamikaze daughters. Are they average milk? We talked about Kamikaze a minute ago. Kamikaze, all 4 of our graduates this time are 4 digits of milk. So they're all over 1,000 pounds of milk, and Kamikaze is one of those. So he is better than just average on milk. When you get over 1,000 pounds of milk, you're getting into pretty elite company. So he brings that type from that deep cow family. But wanted to answer that question. I just saw it. Thanks for reaching out. My next bull to talk about is Corsair Stroud. We're going to talk about Corsair a little later. He didn't graduate this time, but we'll talk about him. But he's a bull that has really impressed us. And this bull, Stroud, continues to rank right at the top of the JPI list. He is our number 7 HHP dollar bull. He's the highest JPI ranked bull over 1,100 of milk and a half point of DPR. So fertility and production together, this bull's right at the top. And that's one thing we like to point out. He's a great DWP bull. His dam's due again with her 4th calf next summer. She backs up 2 weeks every lactation. She's right there near where you're sitting today, Marc, in Northwest Ohio. And this bull carries all those designations: Feed Pro, Grazing Pro, Robot Pro, and has continued to rank high ever since his introduction. We put a Corsair daughter picture on here just so you can see him. But like I said, we'll talk about him in just a little while.
So we talked about Blizzard earlier, but we got Blizzard out of a Chief in Dupat Blizzard Odessa. The Chief pictured at the top hand right of your screen. Just a kind of an extreme bull for production. But then you look at the type and the JUI, kind of an outlier across the board. He'd be the tied for 15th on the JPI list, high HHP at 776, top 25 for milk, be number 5 for type, and top 45 for JUI. But he's one of 3 bulls that are over 1,600 pounds of milk and 21 JUI. So rare formality there. And then he'd be the number 1 JPI bull for anything over 2 on type and 21 on JUI. So just a rare combination that you have here with all the production and type. And he's a Thrasher-free pedigree. So you can use him on those Thrasher sons or Thrasher daughters themselves. But 1,077 DWP, 158 wellness trait, good calf wellness, a nice linear. But the bull picture down there at the right hand of your screen, he's actually really good-looking bull. And thanks, Mickey, for getting that done up in Wisconsin. It was kind of impressive when it came back.
Really impressive. And you didn't mention the next dam's a Bancroft, and those Bancrofts have just stuck around and made great cows, Marc. So I can believe this type and JUI on this bull big time. With Pine in this pedigree and Bancroft, I just think he is the real deal.
And we'll talk about Bancroft's sons or a son later on.
Yeah, we'll get there. So next bull I get's 2236 Slam. Slam is a best ball out of the same Thrasher that Stroud's out of, that I said is due back for her 4th calf next June. She backs up every year. Bull that's plus for DPR. He's right at 900 pounds of milk, 1,100 CFP. Was born up at SUNY Kobelskill. Some embryos we put in up there out of the JART program that we have at Select. And I think it's a great picture. That Slam is a calf, Marc, with all the students the day before he got on the truck to ride to Ohio. And it's just a neat picture. I was glad you found that this time. He's the number 15 JPI bull in the breed, tied with Odessa, as Marc said. Number 11 for HHP dollars, and just a high-ranking bull that carries those designations at the top of the page.
We talked about graduate early, and we said we were going to talk about one of his sons. And this one comes from the JLS partnership, the Primus program. This is College. This bull had a really good day, as his dad did. We talked about graduate daughter that we'd share down at the bottom right hand of your screen. That's from Ferries in New York. They got that done at Louisville. Really impressive graduate daughter. But this one, a graduate son, 176 JPI, 744 HHP, 1,400 of milk, 91 CFP, 1.5 DPR. Really good bull across the board on the production and health traits. And then you get down to the type traits at 1.8 and 20.4. He'd be the number 2 bull for bulls over 1.8 of type and 20 JUI, and one of 4 bulls with over 1,350 milk and 1 DPR. And 3 of those bulls are at Select Sires. So I think it holds true to what we try to do. production, fertility, health traits, all the above. And having 3 of those 4 bulls is pretty outstanding, and this being one of them.
And over 20 for JUI on him. I just think he's a bull that fits a lot of pedigrees. I get to talk about another Nicholas son named Chances from our partner herd at Victory, the Souza family out in Millbank, South Dakota. Chances comes in at 175 JPI. You see a Nicholas daughter pictured over there that went 87. One of 17 bulls over 1,100 of milk and positive DPR. 7 of those are at SSI. He's the number 32 HHP dollar bull. He's a bull that's 1,069 DWP. There is a podcast that Ethan did with Kevin Souza a few weeks ago on the Select podcast that talks about their looking at calf wellness and really studying that hard and doing everything they can to keep cows healthy. So it's no doubt or no shock that we find a lot of high calf wellness bulls coming out of Victory, and Chances is one of them with a 12.3 JUI. Just a lot of things right on this bull.
Another Thrasher 21,797 son that we talked about earlier in Stroud and Slam. But this one is a Geppetto son named Warren. He's 175 JPI, high HHP at 736, 1389 of milk on over 100 CFP, positive DPR, good productive life. So he'd be one of 4 bulls over 1,350 of milk and 1 DPR that we talked about in this earlier. But we wanted to share that picture at the right hand of your screen. Those are a couple of Geppetto daughters that we did out at Victory. A Geppetto is a bull that high production bull, but we shared those daughters and we thought they needed to fit there well. But he's also almost 1,100 DWP, 151 wellness trait, 147 calf wellness, A2. Just a different sire bull with good production and fertility and health traits.
I'm going to talk about an AG bull, accelerated genetic bull named Dynastar. Dynastar is from the Valsigna herd out of a Thrasher dam, then the Steve pictured there on the top right of your page. He's just one of those bulls that's a balanced bull. He's tied for 37th for JPI, tied for 44th for HHP dollars. He's the 13th livability bull at 3.0. He's a great productive life bull. He's a 500-pound milk bull, but he's over 100 CFPs, 104, 0.20 on his fat percent. A bull that's just done a lot of things right, 16.5 JUI, a bull that follows in that Stony mindset. A bull, and Stony made fans all over the world, and this bull we think really helps fit that lineup as well. He carries that Grazing Pro logo or designation along with the Robot Pro and the Feed Pro at the top of the page. Great calf wellness on this bull. Just can follow in the footsteps of Stony at the accelerated genetics lineup and continue to make these long-living, highly productive cattle.
I'm glad you said that, because if you didn't say he was following his father's footsteps, I was. Because he's a mirror image of his father, that's for sure. So the next bull we're going to talk about is another Blizzard son out of a Jiggy, out of a Chrome from Caspergens in California. He'd be a top 60 JPI bull at 170 JPI, a top 45 HHP bull. He is a Thrasher free pedigree, being a Blizzard out of a Jiggy, out of a Chrome. We put the Blizzard daughters there on the right hand of your screen, so for reference again. But he's one of 9 bulls that are over 1,000 of milk, 17.5 JUI, and plus percents. So just wanted to share how unique this bull is. Almost 1,000 DWP, 139 wellness trait, good calf wellness, nice linear there at the bottom of your screen. Just a kind of a really cool bull that, I don't know, Herby and I talk about him all the time, so he must catch our attention, but he just does a lot of things right.
He does, and there are some bulls that are, he's got a couple sons already that are scheduled to come in, Marc, so he's a bull that can make some high ones that are going to be the next generation, and with Blizzard establishing himself this time, I think this is a bull that can really be used around the world. In Excess is the next one I get to talk about. He's a Corsair son again. We'll talk about Corsair more in depth in a minute. But out of a Thrasher dam, then it got made from Wickstrom's out in California, Mike and Brent and Scott and family. He comes in 169 JPI today. over 1,000 pounds of milk, 3-digit CFP at 104, great somatic cell at 2.8. A bull that just does a lot of things right, 1,051 DWP. He's a top 50 HHP dollar bull. He's a bull that's top 30 for type. Look at that 1.9. But one of 9 bulls that are over 1,000 of milk, a JUI of 18 or higher, and at least 1.9 on type. That's pretty high company. And this bull's done it well for a while. We really like the Corsairs, and we'll tell you more about that in a minute. And he's a pretty bull. Really appreciate these pictures y'all got of him this summer, Marc, out by the pond.
Yeah, that was a fun moment when we get to take him out by the pond, because we don't get to take them all out there. But when the barn guys say, "Hey, you can take him," I'm like, "All right, we're in. Let's go." So we take him out by the pond, get a little different scenery. So it's really cool.
And a bull that's got some sons coming in already that we'll be talking about on future Facebook Lives.
The next bull is another Nicholas son, out of a Jiggy, out of a Priapus, from Victory in South Dakota. A bull that kind of does a little bit of everything. He's got good production, ranks well, good health and fertility traits, type and udders. That's probably why I emailed Skylar last night and said, "Hey, we need to run this bull in the Jersey Journal." So make sure you check that ad out then when we get that done for January. But he'd be a top 65 JPI bull, top 40 HHP, but he's one of 2 bulls that are 1,250 of milk, at least 110 CFP, and positive DPR, and a 12 JUI or higher. Just kind of a rare formity. He's not extreme JPI, but he still ranks well amongst the best of the breed, and he does it well. He's 1127 at DWP, over 200 wellness trait, and 152. So you figure 1,100, 200, and 150. I don't think there's many bulls that are probably going to check that on the Zoetis data. So he is balanced. I mean, that's the best word I can think of it for this guy.
Yeah, and the bar chart's right there in the middle of the screen. It's everything you like on this bull. I think he's a bull that's sneaky because nobody's ever really talked about him a whole lot, but he does a lot of things right, Marc. We talked earlier, we've got a lot of poll genetics, and if you look at the top 50 poll JPI bulls, we have 21 of them. So we've made a conscious effort to really go the polled route, and we wanted to share some of those with you today. The first one I'm going to talk about is Caper P from the Accelerated product line. He's a monster son, the number 4 polled bull in the breed, number 12 for HHP. The only poll bull that is over 1,200 of milk, 100 CFP, and 17.5 JUI. He's the highest JPI bull that is polled and at least a half a point of DPR. There's only 10 of them in the breed. You'll see several of them today. But just a bull that's 700 cheese merit, right at 1,000 DWP, 211 wellness trait dollars, 17.5 JUI. A bull that's just doing a lot of things right, a bull that we've used as a sire father. He is available sexed only, carries a couple of nice designations at the top of the page, but a really, really solid poll bull to start our poll lineup that we're going to talk about today.
The next bull we're going to talk about is from our friends at Pine Tree. His name is Butterfly P, or some people call him Butterfly if they don't pay attention to his name.
I do that regularly. Let's just go ahead and say that.
So we mentioned Blizzard, so we're going to keep talking about Blizzard sons. This one's out of a chief that's pictured there at the right hand of your screen, from the Rock Bottom herd in Iowa. This bull would be the number 11 JPI polled sire, number 18 for HHP. High fat bull at 77 pounds puts him at 4, 52 pounds of protein. So that'd be number 4 for CFP on the polled list at 129. He's one of 3 bulls that are polled over 1,100 of milk and plus percents. With the high JUI, good sound type. Another bull hits his Zoetis data at 1,073 DWP, over 150 for wellness trait, and 83 for calf wellness. A bull that when we brought in, we expected it kind of just be a different outlier, being a Blizzard out of a chief, and he's kind of hit the ground running, and we're excited for this to keep going on. But a bull that had a good day along with Blizzard as his sire, but a bull we're excited about to see down the line.
The next one I get to talk about is another accelerated product line bull, Zoltan P from out at Cash Inn, the Casbergen family out in Tulare, California. Breeds a seismic PP out of a chief out of a Westport, so a little different maternal line for us. It's 157 JPI, top 20 pole bull in the breed, top 20 for HHP and pole, top 15 for cheese merit, 706 cheese merit dollars. A Thrasher free pedigree, a bull that's 1,068 DWP dollars, 226 wellness trait dollars, and 117 calf wellness dollars. A bull that's got that 18.1 JUI, a bull we've used as a sire father, just got released here a few months ago, Marc, but a bull that still ranks well today, and look forward to working sons and daughters of this bull.
Another seismic son from Casbergen's out there in California. This one's a seismic out of a chief, out of a jiggy. He'd be top 20 for JPI and HHP. He's 157 JPI, 675 HHP, top 35 for cheese merit. He'd be the number 7 fat pulled bull, number 1 for JUI, number 1 for type. Another rare formity at 2.1 and 25.1 on the type and JUI. So he's just a little different across the board with sound production, but then you throw in the type and the JUI on top of having no thrasher in his pedigree and over 1,000 DWP, 259 wellness trade dollars, and 46 calf wellness. So another bull that kind of does a little different things around the board, but being a thrasher free pedigree can add value and put some type and JUI on top of what daughters you need.
I'm going to talk about Curve PP. We're going to talk about a few homozygous pole bulls now. Curve PP from Jersey Land Sires is the seismic PP out of the Gold Sorella. He's 164 JPI today, makes him the number 1 homozygous pole JPI bull. He's number 1 homozygous polled HHP dollar bull at 691. Number 2 for cheese merit at 699 for homozygous polled bulls. Number 1 JUI homozygous polled, 21.7. Great DWP. He's a thrasher free pedigree. You see a couple of full sisters to his dam pictured there. Just a bull that does a lot of things right, carries a lot of designations at the top of the page, and a bull that we're certainly excited about to get calves on the ground for the next generation as well.
We're going to talk about his brother, Monster P out of Sorella. As Herby said, this full sister's pictured there at the right of your screen. This bull's at 152 JPI, so I'd put him number 2 amongst homozygous polled bulls, number 2 for HHP, number 4 for cheese merit at 673, number 2 for productive life, number 2 for livability, and thrasher free. This bull's 1-1 type, 14.4 JUI, over 1,000 DWP. Just a bull that you really, really like and complements his brother, but kind of does it differently.
He does, but Marc, you might have got a little carried away last night when you were putting this together. Monster's a thrasher son, yeah. So it's hard for him to be thrasher free, buddy.
After I said it, I know. Listen,
I figured we might as well point it out.
8 hours looking at the same spreadsheet will get to you.
Yeah, but he's a bull that we've used as a sire father and really excited about these coming along. I get to talk about Wave PP. He's from our partner at Victory and our JART program out of a Goals, out of a Butkus. Number 5 JPI homozygous pole bull at 140. He's a bull that does a lot of things right. Nice HHP dollars, just shy of 1,000 DWP. Nice calf wellness dollars, 104 livability, 104 scours, 104 respiratory. Just a balanced bull, 15 JUI, and another bull that we're really excited about in the homozygous pole to make sure you don't have to do any dehorning.
Another bull from the Pine Tree herd that we're going to talk about is another homozygous polled bull named Moon PP. He's a monster out of a Listowel, out of a Chrome. So his dam's 87, and it's followed by 5 excellent dams that goes back to that picture at the top right hand of your screen, the Dutch Hollow Valentino Cheryl cow, as Herby said, was the poster child for Valentino when he first came out. So just wanted to share the depth of pedigree of this bull. The dam's udder shots down there at the right hand of your screen. But the number 9 HHP homozygous polled sire, He's number 6 homozygous pulled for milk. 282 cell, good productive life, 13.3 JUI. So just a little different bull, but a deep pedigree. That's what he makes him the outlier. And he's mastitis resistance pro. So he kind of checks a lot of boxes, and you'll get pulled calves in the end.
Changing gears a little, we're going to some JX free pedigrees now. And we're going to lead that off with Clever. Clever doesn't need a lot of introduction. He's from the Primus program. He's the Gooch son out of the Viceroy, out of the Lemonhead, back to the Pharaoh, pictured there at the top right as the third dam. Just a bull that is the number 2 JPI JX free bull in the breed, number 4 for Cheese Merit, number 6 for CFP, Thrasher free pedigree, and one of 2 JX free bulls that are over 400 in milk and 0.8 for DPR. Both of them are at SSI. Mark, tell them who the other one was, because I had to ask you.
Uncommon.
I should have known it, but you got me. But Clever's a bull that you'll see some sun starting to flow through the pipeline on him. Got some great pictures of him Mickey did for us up in Westby and the crew up there. We're certainly happy to have this bull in our lineup. And he's continued to do great things and continued to rank well at 150 JPI.
We're going to call this one a complete outlier for pedigree. Not just Thrasher free. This bull is different across the board, and he's JX free. This is Red Bull, new release to the lineup. He's a wingman out of a Lancer, out of a cohort from Firm Virgiton up there in Canada. He'd be number 4 for JPI, number 6 for Cheese Merit, number 5 for CFP, number 4 for Fat. He's a top 20 JUI bull at 19.8. And the dam's pictured there at the top right of your screen, and the third dam down there at the bottom. But a bull that we're really excited about, just really diverse pedigreed, different to breed on any kind of pedigree that you have in your herd running around. But good DWP, wellness trait, and over 100 on calf wellness. So just a bull that's kind of different but exciting at the same time.
Great percents on that bull, Mark. 0.26 fat and 0.09 protein. Really nice. I get to talk about For Real. We talked about Uncommon just a minute ago, and we've got a son of his coming in out of that 93-point Fearless that needs no introduction. That cow family out at Wickstrom's and Dupat jerseys has just been a tremendous brood cow. When we started bringing these bulls in, 3 generations of dams were still milking there at the farm. And For Real is the Uncommon, 857 of milk, ranks him right up there at the top, just shy of 100 CFP, 20.9 JUI. So an Uncommon son out of that 93-point Fearless. We really like the bull Marc's going to talk about next, his brother. And I think this bull has a chance to do some great things in the breed in that JX free set of needs around the world.
Yep. So this is his brother by hole in one named First Cut. I think this bull needs no introduction, just like his mother, because he seems to hit a lot of markets. But a bull that's a hole in one out of the Fearless, 845 of milk, good components, 19.9 JUI and 2.0 in type. Just a balanced bull across the board. He's hit a lot of things. You're starting to see some calves pop up every now and then that people are having, but he's top 25 for JPI, top 20 for cheese, top 15 for CFP, but number 6 for type and 18 for JUI. So a bull that we're really excited about. There's a maternal sister that to the bull, a full sib. Sorry, maternal sib. Full sister right there in the middle of the screen that we pictured this summer. It was getting late last night, you can tell.
But, Mark, there was a couple of these calves in the pot of gold sale at Louisville this year, and they were really fancy calves, stood right there in the show barn and looked really nice. So really excited to see what these calves can do around the world. I'm going to talk about a showcase bull named Big Red. He's the Bancroft. We told you we like those in pedigrees out of the 93-point Lexicon, then the Sambo. And he's a bull another one that has just made the right kind of heifers. When you go out and you look at the calf pens, you find these big red calves out there. They've got strength to them. They're balanced individuals. He's the number 7 JUI JX free bull in the breed. He is a Thrasher free pedigree. Here's 2 of his full sisters pictured on the right there. And the third one just went 88 second calf. So 87, 88, 89 on the 3 full sisters adds to the depth of pedigree that this bull has, and we're really excited about his future at Select Sires.
The next showcase bull we're going to talk about, we kind of gave you a little preview of it before, but Dream Maker, the victorious out of Dream herself that needs no introduction, the 97.2-time national grand champion. The bull pictured at the top right of your screen, but that victorious daughter that I shared earlier was a full sister to Dream Maker that was reserve All-American, milking winner yearling at Louisville, 1.5 a type, 19.9 JUI. They also sold another calf, or the first calf probably ever at a public auction for sure, out of this bull in the All-American sale. Really, really pretty cut calf. Looks really, really early, like good early on, but excited about this bull to say the least. Being a victorious out of Dream, I think it's a great combination of her strength and what she can do.
Well, Mark, we don't want you to think that we've used all the good bulls and we don't have any in the pipeline, so we'd like to hit on a few that'll be coming out in the next couple months. First one I'm going to talk about is Chronos PP. He's from out at Cash Inn, but he goes back to a cow family developed in eastern New York, the Lear family at Kai High, and this bull is a Lemoore out of a 90 4-point craze pictured there at the top of the page. He's homozygous polled. We've talked about our investment in polled and why we want that a lot. But this bull, you look at his 4 dams, 94, 93, 91, 92, no Joel, no victorious. A bull that's over 800 pounds of milk, positive for DPR, over 20 JUI, and it's JX free. He does a lot of things right, Mark, and we're excited about getting this bull. He's a January release, so make sure you're get your orders in on him, because I think he's one that can make some really, really neat cattle.
And you don't have to dehorn him.
Exactly. No dehorning involved.
The next bull is a Cabal son by the name of Carpath. So this is a Cabal out of a necklace, then a Jiggy. Bull that's 174 JPI, it'd be top 40, 784 HHP, 1353 a milk, 84 CFP, 17 DPR, 285 cell, high productive life, extreme livability, be number 2 in the young sire list, with a 1-1 type and a 14.8 JUI, over 1100 DWP, 247 calf wellness and 247 wellness trait and 144 calf wellness. So just a bull that we think's got a really, really big upside to him. Production, health, traits, fertility, and type all in one. So rare form right here. And a bull that I draw a blank.
February.
Okay, that's what I had in my head.
I get Poston. He's a Dynastar son. We talked about Dynastar being a stony son. This bull we're really excited about. 173 JPI, 820 a milk, 100 CFP. He's top 45 for JPI, top 40 for cheese merit, but he's a Dynastar out of a Steno. So a little different pedigree back in there for us. One of 6 bulls that are over 800 a milk, 100 CFP, and 1 point of DPR. He's 1.1, over 1,000 DWP. Just a bull, another February released bull that we think will check a lot of boxes for people.
Well, the last bull I get to talk about today, this one raised a lot of hands. Coworker asked why we didn't graduate this bull on Tuesday. We can't let them all go. We got to hold them a little bit. Plus, we didn't have any type 8 on this bull. So this is Corsair. He's a Rowan son out of the Enzo from the Primus program. But this bull, as I got wound up on L's earlier, this bull winds us both up. And I think it gets a lot of people around the world interested extremely, extremely well. His daughters are flat out good. I haven't seen a bad one yet. They're youthful udder. They've got plenty of strength. Mobility is really good. But he's 135 JPI right now, almost 1,000 of milk on 82 pounds of CFP, 19.3 JUI, 1.5 on type, 3.2 SCR. So he kind of off, and he gets him bred.
His sex fertility is really good too. And this bull, we've all been cranked up. I don't care who's seen him, Brad, Preston, Mark, me, Ethan, everybody that's seen Corsair Daughters loves them. And he's a bull that will be in our Latin American directory. So, but he didn't get to graduate this time because we just didn't have enough type data to be able to go to the market, we felt. The bull I'm ending with is a bull that another Thrasher son that's 140. His name's Dirk, 1941, from our accelerated product line. He's a bull that has done a lot of things right, back to Della, bred by the Allens there in Wisconsin. But if you go to the Worldwide Sires South Africa Facebook page, there's a video of a group of Dirk daughters that will blow your socks off, Mark. We've both seen it this week, just really loved it. And he's a bull that we got some great pictures of him. And we figured, you know, we ought to talk about bulls that didn't graduate, but we still are seeing great things around the world. And we appreciate all these breeders around the world that believe in our genetics.
Yeah, I'd be sure to go look at that video. We were going to put it in here, but it would slow everything down.
It would. Anytime you have any questions, ask Mark, myself, Ethan, Preston, whoever you reach out to at Select Sires will get you some answers. We appreciate the team of people that helps put this together every time. Our communication department for getting everything out on time. Marc Kurt's an unsung hero in this. He's the one that puts these files together so that we can make these slides and make all this happen in a very timely manner. Keith Gibson for pulling the data. And at this time at Christmas and the holidays, really just want to reach out and say, if you need something, thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in each time, and thank you for your belief in our genetics. Mark, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you and your family, and to all our friends and family around the world.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if you ever have any questions, just be sure to reach out. We'll be glad to answer anything.
Thanks everyone for making it happen, and thanks for tuning in.